You know, I really wasn't expecting to make another FNAF video for the next couple weeks. See, the original plan was to wait for the book to come out on June 25th, read the whole thing in a day because inflicting self-pain is fun, and then make a video on the book once I read it. But Scott just had to jump the gun, didn't he? He couldn't let me rest in peace, could he? Well, actually, he left me alone. Tyler had to write this script, so really he's just complaining through my mouth. Anyways, let's get into what happened. In case you haven't heard yet, Scott has updated both scottgames.com and FNAFworld.com, so they now have teaser images for upcoming FNAF stuff. Scott Games has this image, and FNAF World has this image. Great! We got a Freddy that looks like he got attacked by a swarm of genital warts, and a pair of green glowy eyeballs. So what do these two pictures mean? How do they fit into the whole plot theory I've already made? Oh yeah, did you forget? We've already speculated on the entire plot of the Twisted Ones months ago, but don't you worry if you've forgotten it. We're going to go over it some in this video to help fit these pictures into their proper places. Let's start with the Freddy image because it's going to take a while to get through. This image of Freddy when saved is named Twisted Freddy, which is an obvious reference to the book. However, by lighting this image, two codes can be found in the upper right-hand corner. These codes, when used on Scott's site, give us two more pictures. One of a twisted Bonnie with a face expansion pack, and one with a completely new animatronic animal thing. We'll call this lovable furball of death Wolfie. Now, all these new images are made by the same artist, and since one of them is named Twisted Freddy, it's only natural to assume that the others are also going to be a part of the Twisted Ones. So the real questions this brings up are, who is this Wolfie character, how did he come to be, and why do the animatronics have genital warts all over them? Correction, Twisted Freddy and Twisted Bonnie have warts, yet Wolfie's STD test came back negative. His image doesn't have any warts. To figure out how all this fits into the Twisted Ones, let's go back through our old video on the Twisted Ones plot. Back in February, when the book first went on sale for pre-order on Amazon, and yes, I did pre-order the book, we were given two clues as to what was going to happen in the Twisted Ones. The first was the novel's cover, which showed a depiction of Nightmare Freddy. The second was this small summary of the novel. The summary read, "It's been a year since the horrific events at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, and Charlie is just trying to move on. Even with the excitement of a new school and a fresh start, she's still haunted by nightmares of a masked murderer and 4 gruesome animatronic puppets. Charlie thinks her ordeal is over, but when a series of bodies are discovered near her school bearing wounds that are disturbingly familiar, she finds herself drawn back into the world of her father's frightening creations. Something twisted is hunting Charlie, and this time, if it finds her, it's not letting her go." Now, based on this summary, we were able to deduce a couple things. First off, we know that the book is not a prequel sequel because it takes place a year after the events of Silver Eyes. This means that Charlie is now 18 at a new school, most likely a college. This makes the most sense considering the summary says she's at a new school with a fresh start. However, she's still being haunted by nightmares of a masked murderer and 4 animatronics. As we mentioned in our last video about the Twisted Ones, Scott doesn't use his words flippantly. The word nightmare has a direct tie to FNAF 4, since not only was there an animatronic named Nightmare, but the word appeared in the teaser images too. This plus Nightmare being on the cover implies a connection to FNAF 4, which is strange. Because now we have a picture of Twisted Freddy and he doesn't look anything like Nightmare. So are we going to be seeing both the Nightmare and Twisted Freddy in this book, or is there something deeper going on here? I'll come back to that in a second, but first let me finish the synopsis of our old video. The summary also stated that something twisted is hunting Charlie, and this time, if it finds her, it's not letting her go. The phrase "something twisted" has a lot more meaning now that we actually have animatronics named Twisted Freddy and Twisted Bonnie, and the inclusion of the phrase "this time" means that whatever is hunting her has hunted her before. This fact becomes even more important because we have a completely new animatronic in the mix, Wolfie. If this summary is right, this new animatronic has some other part to play in this novel, but it's not trying to find Charlie, and it can't be what's hunting her because whatever is hunting her in this novel has already hunted her before. Wolfie hasn't done that. But there's more we can learn about Wolfie than just that. In fact, I have reason to believe there's some sort of bond between Wolfie and Nightmare. How could I possibly know that? Well, I'm about to tell you. Let's look at Wolfie's pictures. Remember, he's different than Twisted Freddy and Twisted Bonnie. Besides the lack of warts, he also has this sort of electronic glitch happening on his body. Strange, isn't it? But what is even stranger is putting his image side by side with the novel's cover. Guess what else has a glitch look to it? the title of the novel. This can't be a coincidence that we're seeing the same glitch effect in this new animatronic and on the novel's cover. That tells me that this character isn't just new, but vitally important to the plot of the novel, and most likely the reason that the other animatronics become twisted. Before, I had theorized that William Afton possessing the Golden Bonnie suit would somehow twist the animatronics to his will and attempt to get revenge on Charlie. But with this new information, everything is different. Sure, the animatronics are still going to try and kill Charlie, but is William Afton to blame? Or is he really gone and dead? Is Wolfie, this glitched animatronic or animal, the new antagonist of the book? It's possible, perhaps even likely. But I think the similarities between Wolfie in the novel's cover are a direct indication not only of how important that character is going to be, but also that Wolfie is the reason the Twisted Ones are twisted. He made this glitch. He twisted them, and now they're puppets just like it says in the summary. They are coming to kill Charlie, not of their own will, but because they are being controlled, and probably by Wolfie. But hey, we'll find out for sure in a couple weeks. But don't go away yet, we still have another image to assess. Had you forgotten? I'd been talking for so long about the implication of the Twisted Freddy image that I hadn't even started talking about the image that appeared on FNAFworld.com. This image of the green eyes is definitely a picture of Baby. How do we know? Pretty easily, actually. Her eyes are green and she has 4 eyelashes per eye. I wish we could look further into making sure it's Baby, but the image only consists of 2 eyes, no matter how much you turn up the brightness. However, this image is titled I'm Still Here, which, assuming this is Baby, means that Baby survived getting barfed up by Purple Guy. And while she may be somewhat broken, as we can see from the broken part of her eye, she is very much alive, and she doesn't seem happy. This image leads me to believe that we're still going to see a new sequel to Sister Location in the next year. She's broken and angry, and probably is out for revenge, so the real question is, when will this new game come out, and will we be playing as Michael Afton again in it? Remember, the last thing we saw from him was his skin turning purple, and he then threw up Ennard but still survived. Then he got crushed inside Golden Bonnie and still survived, as we saw from his ending in Sister Location. That cutscene plus Baby's new image leads me to make a pretty massive speculation. I think we're going to see a game that takes place after FNAF 3. We're going to see a game where Michael Afton is already Springtrap, who survived the fires of FNAF 3, as we can see from the brightening of the FNAF 3 newspaper, and now we have both Baby and Michael Afton out for revenge on William Afton in the same game. We could play as William Afton trying to survive 5 nights from Baby in Springtrap. That's my theory for the next FNAF game, but when will we know if I'm right or not? Well, probably not for a while. Considering the book is coming out at the end of the month, I wouldn't expect another game around until fall, but that's just my take on things in this impromptu FNAF video. Also, I want to thank all the people who tweeted at us and emailed us to let us know about all this going on. We weren't ignoring your messages, just working on a new video. So thanks Tristan, KittyCatter MB12G, Matthew, Phonix HD, and anyone else who I didn't see that sent us messages about the new FNAF stuff. We always appreciate you all looking out for us. I'm definitely going to be reading the Twisted ones when it comes out, so look forward to another video on that, and hopefully we'll get some clues about the games through the book. That's all for today, so until next time, watch out for Jen of the Warts.